Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So we are starting today a new series called HTML training. So this is a complete training of the HTMLs. So first of all, why we need the HTML? HTML is help us to build the website. In earlier days, we need to go to that notepad and we need to write the code one by one, and then we need to uh, uh, do run and then see that how it looks like. But nowadays, you can just drag and drop the buttons, all these elements, and the HTML code is auto-generated. So that is the current situation. But for a development team, you should know that how the HTML structure is looks like and how the HTML behaves. To do that, we are doing install the intelligence tools so that can automatically pop up and show all your HTML. So for that, I'm just going to install the Visual Studio right now. So you can see I need to visit the code.visualstudio.com, and then here, based on your operating systems, you just need to download that. Okay. Once you download, you need to open the Visual Studio, and from the Visual Studio, we'll show all our developments. Okay. So without wasting time, let's get started. In this desktop or in your computer, first of all, you need to define or you need to create a folder. I'm just going to define a folder called code. Folder I have just created. Now I have to open the Visual Studio, and in the Visual Studio, what you can see, you just need to drag the folder here. Once you drag the folder, you can see this Explorer have a plus sign. You can create a folder, you can create a file. I'm just going to create my first file called index.html. So once I created that file, it is open that index.html, that file. Also, what I did, I go to the extension and install two extensions called HTML, CSS, support, and live server. So these two will help me to build our web page or build our HTML. So you can type here HTML. It will start searching all the extension. Depending on your situation, you can install. I just install these extensions. Okay. Now here, let's start our development. So in the HTML, so always start with the doc type is HTML, and from there only we'll start the HTML tag. So these all are called tags, because if you see, it started with the angle braces and it's always ended with the forward angle braces. Okay. So inside the HTML, whatever text or whatever data or whatever things we are going to write, all these will be inside this HTML. Now save this code right now. Go back to our folder, and you can see this folder is now visible called index.html. Inside this HTML, what we just trying to type here, we need to type head. Head is a attribute, or you can say the tags that help you to define your page. Okay, so what all attributes or what all contents it has, all are defined under HTML. So we are going to type the title equal to new web page. So this text will be visible on your browser tags. Okay, so let's go back to the file and right click and click open live server. It will be open the default current browser and show you the how it looks like. So let's save and run this live server. You can see my server is loaded the web page, and it's saying that new web page, that is my title of the server. So it helped me to that whatever changes I will change here or whatever changes I will make here, all the changes immediately will reflect here. So let's do that. I'll do some more text today. So first of all, here we will type the body. So body is nothing but, in this body you can see whatever is in blanks, all these should come under body. Okay, so every tag which is started with the tag is body, or whatever any tag is started, it is always ended with the forwarded slashes. Here we should type something. Whatever we will type, all this text will be visible our page, web page. So let's say that create a p tag. P tag is used for paragraph. So if you want type, or if you just write a paragraph, we use the p tags. And remember that you can see that p tag, we started and ended with a forwarded slash. So let's start that this is a new web page and save that. Once I save that, you can see it immediately reflect on my server and showing here that this is a new web page. So we'll continuously start developing here. We'll create some we'll create a image right now, and you can see that image have src. Src is nothing but where the image is showing, but I don't have any image in this folder, so I put the alter and then image not found and close the image tag. So you can see image is not present, that's why the alternate text is showing that image not found. So that's way you can start building your first HTML page. Okay, so that's it for today. I just quickly recap that we just need to be install the VS Code, and then we need to create a folder in your drives, and then that folder needs to be connected into the Explorer, and then you need to create a file called index.html, and you need to start modifying or start writing the code. Along with that, you need to install two extensions. One is the HTML CSS support, another is the live server. Those two help you. One will help you to pop up the auto code and help you to auto code. Another is will help you to show you or preview you on live on your browser. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. We'll connect in our next session. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the HTML training continuation part. This is the second day we are talking about. So last day we talked about that how we can set up our basic HTML page, and this was our page where we are able to run with the live server. So now what we are going to do, remember that this image was not loaded right now properly, right? So what we are going to do here in this image, so I'm just explaining that what is the image tag. Img tag is help to add the image, and src is that where you can put the definition or the link or source link where from where the image should be rendered. Previously I don't have a image. Right now I just install a image in my code folder. So now in this image file I can put that the name dot png so that it can render. So just save that. You can see the image is started rendering here. Now what we can do, we can define the height equal to 200 and width equal to 200, so that it will be a small image. So let's save that. So you can see that the image is setting with their height and width. Okay, so that's way you can do a image width and height. Okay, similarly, you can see that this image tag doesn't have any end brace, right? Because image tag does not need any end tag. Okay, because in if you remember this thing, just to understand one thing, in the paragraph, in between paragraph you need to put some text, right? Like whatever text will be there. But in this image tag or in this image, what we need, we don't need any so we don't need to put any text in between that image, right? So that's why we don't put the images. Okay, so now we'll talk about that header. So if sorry, now we'll talk about that paragraphs stuff. In the paragraph, what we did right now, that we put some text like this is a new web page. What we can do in this paragraph, we can put the different style. So normally in this paragraph it is showing like this is the new web page, this is the normal text, right? So now what I am going to do in this paragraph, I am putting that B tag. B is used for bold. So if something you want to put in a bold in between, suppose I'm putting that this is a bold tag. So what will be happens, you can see the bold keyword is right now highlighting as a bold. This bold text is highlighting as a bold. So that's how in the paragraph you can put any text in a bold. Similarly, if you want to put something like that, this is a there is a one more tag called italic, so you can put that italics. So you can see the italics one is just now as a slash italic. Okay, so also you can type that this is a there is a one more tag called underline, so you can type the underline. Based on that, these paragraphs in the paragraph, based on your requirement or based on your criteria or situation, you can put whatever you needed. Okay, so you can put the bold, you can put the italics, you can put that underline. So wherever you require these types of tags, you can put that. Along with that, if you see that you need to put some gaps between this line and the images, you can put the BR tag. So BR tag will help you to put the line break. It's a line break. It will help you to put some caps line. Okay. So BR tag is useful for putting some extra spaces in between two of the elements. Okay. Now if I go back and then type that one more tag called HR. HR tag is used for horizontal line. Okay. So let's say that you can see there is a cut or there is a separator between these two elements that, and it is clearly mentioned, that is called HR tags. Okay. And then finally, if you think about that, I don't need some line, right? In normally in a code, how we can comment out one of the line. For that, what we have to do, we have to write the code like that only. If you put some line, so that way we can do the comment line. So commented line, suppose you don't need such a scenario in that case, or suppose you don't need any anything in that case, we can put the commented line. Okay, next thing we will talk about that inbuilt styling. So what is the inbuilt styling? Inbuilt styling is nothing but, suppose I am putting a text called this is a text for inbuilt styling. Okay, so this is a text, not simple text. I just put that inbuilt style. Now what I need, that I need the color of this text, right? So how can we do that? So we can define the CSS very well and then do the styling on that. But in that case, I'm just going to tell you that inbuilt styling, how we can do the inbuilt styling. So first of all, you need to type the style, and inside the style you need to define the attribute called color, and then you need to define that red. Okay, and then save that. You can see that the line or the text color is getting red. Okay, similarly you can define that font size. You can define that 20 pixel, so the text will be much bigger than the normal text. Okay, so that's why you can do the inbuilt styling. So you can do zoom text, you can do, there are a lot of attributes that help you. Okay, also you can do that background color, so you can define that aqua color and then save that. You can see that the paragraphs, the whole element background color is getting changed. So you can do some inbuilt styling to make this uh, element is much attractive. Okay, you can do that same steps in a CSS part, but it is a inbuilt steps. So next thing is that we will talk about that link. So if I want to show some links in my page, what we can do, we can show in a anchor tracks. Okay, so for that, what we have to do, we have to type a in between a we need to type the text. So what I have, I'm trying to put that, click here and then save that. You can see this is not yet hyperlink. So what we have to do, the next step is that href, in bit href, what we have to do, we have here we need to define the href, and in this href you need to put your URL. So so you can see that whenever I am clicking here, it is opening that the Google page. What you have to do, that whenever I am clicking this page, it is opening on the same tab, right? But I want that to in a different tab. So for that, what we have to do, we have to put extra parameter called target, and then here we need to type that blank. So once I save as a blank, now if I click here, it is opening that Google page in a different tabs, right? So that way you can define that where these links should be open. It should be open in a different tab, or it should be open in that single tab only. Now let me tell you that whenever you build a HTML page and you it looks like that this is a HTML web page, what we can do, you can just right click of any of this HTML page or any of this web page, right click and do a inspect. Now in this element, if you click in this element and hover over any of this object, you can see the whole HTML code, the way you design all these HTML code, you can get that. Okay, so you can just check that any of this object, how it is defined, what is the code is written behind that in a server. You can see by just inspect or hover over on that. Okay, and then if you want to see the full code, right click and click the view page source. You will be able to see actual code which is written for this particular web page. You will be able to see that. Okay, so that's so you can also get the actual HTML code. Now in this text, what I am going to do that in this body, what I am going to do that I am going to minimize these tabs right now, and then I am going to put this text here as a ID. So ID is nothing but so I just said that ID equal to P1. ID is nothing but each element can be defined a unique ID. So ID is used for to targeting the element for future purpose or for the reference purpose. Okay. So what happens to that? Like in this ID, what help you that it help you to identify any of these objects. So suppose I need to identify this object and make some modification from the background or make some modification from the backend code. I need the ID. Okay, so ID is used for that. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to create one more link here. I'm just placing this to the top and then removing this one. And here what we are doing, we are putting hash and then P1. Okay, so if you remember in a long page, you will be able to see they have one text called click here to top, right? So I'm just creating that click here to top. So this is one of my HTML tag, and whenever I click that, it should land me to the top. Let's click that. You can see I am landing to the top page. Okay. So that's why you can go to your top element. So what I have to do, instead of this particular web page or any particular web page, you can define or you can put any of this ID, any of this element ID. You can, by that, you can directly jump to that particular ID. So that's it for today. We'll continue in our next sessions. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Hi everyone, welcome back to the HTML tutorial training. So this is the day 3. We are talking about the HTML. Today we'll talk about heading and list. So let's get started. So heading is used for to heading something in a text. Okay. So heading totally 6 heading is available. from in the HTML from H1 to the H6. Okay, so let's quickly type one by one and see the difference between heading 1 and heading 6. So I am typing H1 and type hello. Let's save that. You can see this heading is showing in a bigger format, right? So I'll do the copy and paste till H6 and then I'll tell you the difference between heading. So now you can see that I just copy and paste all this hello text with H1 to the H6. Okay, so all are heading, all the types of heading is already created. Now you can see the difference between H1 to the H6. So whenever you type the H1, the heading will be much bigger and much bolder. Okay, and whenever you type the H6, it is much smaller and bold is there, but it's not that much bold. Okay, so H1 is used. H1 is the one element that is used to write the heading like a paragraph. We did that here the paragraph, right? So like a paragraph, we use the heading for put the header purpose. It will be always in bold until unless you overwrite, and then these have H1 to the H6. So now we'll talk about the two types of list mainly, and there is another one. So totally basically we'll talk about the three list types of element. So first we'll talk about order list, unordered list. Another is the description list. Okay, so we'll talk one by one. So order list means what? Order list means that whenever you put something like I need a car, house, mobile, laptop, these will be is a orderly. If you put the order list, there will be a number 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is order list. If you don't put the order list, it will be there will be some dotted. Okay, so let's type that one. So to do the order list, you need to put the OL, and OL means the order list, and then inside that you need to type the list. Okay, so I'll put that the LI component, and here I'll put the house, and I'll quickly put all those list one by one. So I just typed the order list right now here, and then you can see that OL is means order list, and then here I put the four list of item. Okay, list of item is one is the house, car, laptop, and mobile. Four item I have put that. So let's save that. Once I save that, you can see that the list of item have some ordering like a number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that we call the order list. So you can see that it's an order list. Okay. So similarly, you can do the unordered list. So that for that, what you have to do, you need to do the same item that only that instead of OL, you need to type the UL. So UL means that unordered list. So now you can see that if I scroll down, there is a house, car, laptop, mobile. These have some ordering 1, 2, 3, 4, and these house, car, laptop, mobile that doesn't have any order. It's just have dotted. Okay, so that is the difference between order list and unordered list. So using this order list and unordered list, most of the people build the navbar or menus using the more CSS and all those stuff. We'll do that later. Next, we'll talk about the description list. So for description list, we have to type the DL. DL is the description list. Under that, we have to type DT. And then inside the DT, we will put the coffee. So let's set that and scroll down. You can see the copy is showing, but it's a description. So there is no dot, no number. Okay. Now under this DT, you can put the DD. So I'll put the DD here and then I'll put that milk. And once I save that, you can see there is a gap, like a tab. We put a tab. I can remove this one. So you can see that it's a tab. Okay. So the order list, unordered list and the description list have a, this is the difference. One is the have some number, another is the dotted, and another is the description. And you can put the tabs if you want. Okay, so that's it for today. We'll talk in the next video session how we can improve our web page. Hi everyone, welcome back to my HTML tutorial. I'm Rohit. Today we'll talk about the table concept in the HTML. Okay, so let's get started. So today we'll talk about the table. To create a table, first of all you have to type the table. Okay, inside the table, whatever element you want to put, you can put. Okay, so this is the table. It will create a table structure, and the table structure will have the lot of element. Okay, so in a table, what we have first of all a row, right? So for that we have typed the tr. It's mean the table row. Okay, we'll create a row, and inside the row we'll create some header. Okay, So in the table, what we are going to put that name, mobile, and age. Okay, so for create that row, what we have to do, we have to type the TD, and now what I have to put the name, and how many columns what I have to define, that I will define here. So copy, paste, and here I will place the age and then mobile. Okay, so once I save that, our table should be created. You can see name, age, and mobile. This table is created, and inside that these have some header. Now we have to create some row and we have to put some data, right? So again, we are going to create a new row, right? So tr, and inside the tr we have to type td, and in this case name, what we have to put the name is abc, and the next header is what, age. What we have to do, we have to do 1 2 3, and then next what we have to do, again we have to create one more td, and that its mobile number, we have to put that some mobile number. Okay, so let's save that, and you can see the table is getting created, table row is getting created. For the duplicacy, I'll copy few more line for to show a demo. I'll put here, uh, so I just copy 3 4 times, and now you can see the name, age, mobile, these are repeating. Okay, and this is the name abc, and this is the age, and this is the mobile number. So that's how you can create the table. So understand that. So name, age, and mobile doesn't looks a bold, right? It's not a look bold. It's a header, although it's a header, but not like it's not showing a bold, right? For that, what we have to do, we have to TD, instead of TD in the first row, TD we have to type the TH. TH means the table header. So it denotes that it's a table header, not a normal TD. Okay, so I'm just replacing all. Now save that. So you can see that right now the name, age, mobile, these all are three elements. Right now it looks like a header and it have some bold concept right now, right? What happens, they are very clumsy, right? They are attached to each other very closely, right? So for that we need to define the width here. So we'll type the width here. So for width, we have to type the style. So this is inline, and we are typing width equal to 100%, right? So once we put the 100%, it will be little bit spacey, and then if I do in a full screen, you can see the table is in your full screen. It's in a your full screen. So I put that with equal to 100%. It means that whatever is the page size, it will be go and show in there. So now if you see that normally that a mobile have a two types of digit, right? Normally we could have a country code and then there is a mobile, right? So let's do that. I'll create one more th here, and then I'll put that country code. And this country code, once I put the country code, I should create some country code for bottom table, right? So let's put that, and I'll put that 901 is the country code. Copy and paste all the row. And now save that. The country code is showing 91 for each and every column. Now what happens? We need to combine both the columns. This column and this column. We need to combine. The header will be only one, and that will do a combine. Okay. For that, I'll remove this TH part here from this part, and then what we'll do, we will type the call span, and then here how many column or how many row we want to span. I'll put the 2. It means that 2 column will be added. You can see these two are span or maybe get together, and then it is showing the data. So that's all about the table creation. I'll do a little bit table modification to show that data is little better. Now in this table, if you see the table doesn't have any border, right? It's look very bad to doesn't show any table row and like the cell or grid, right? To do that, what we have to do, we have to go to that table and then put the border, right? So let's do that. Inside the table, what we'll do here in the style, we will do that border, and inside that we'll put the 1px and solid and then black color code. Once I save that, you can see outside there is a created one block. Outside it is created one block, but TH and TD, these are not created the block. So let's create the copy the same thing and paste here the TH and see that how it looks like. Copy this code and go back to the TH and then put the style equal to this whole concept, and then copy over this whole element, each and every header. Okay, so I'm putting each and every header. Once I save that, you can see they have the border inside each and every column, right? Each and every header, but doesn't have these to the TD, right? So we need to implement each and every, otherwise we can do directly style sheet here and then define that. Okay, so go back to that header and then I'll create a style here. So I'll create a style inside that. I will write some code. So style means that whatever style sheet I'll put that it will be whatever CSS I'll put that it will be actually applicable for whole the page. Okay. So for which element we want to implement that, we already implemented for table, we already implemented for TH. Now we want to implement for TD. So let's put the TD, and then inside the braces, what we want to implement that, we want to implement the border equal to 1px and then solid and then black color. Now save that. You can see each and every column have some borders and it looks like that. So now if you see that all the text are shifted to that left side, if you see these text are left shifted to the left side, we need to put all the text into the in between, right? So for that, what we can do, text alignment, we can put that. Now you can put the text alignment equal to center. So it means that all the TD, inside all the TD, all the text will be shifted to the center. So that's why we put the text alignment equal to center, so that all the TD's text will be shifted to the middle side. So that's how you can create a table. Thank you very much. We'll talk in the next session. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the day 5 for our HTML training. I'm Rohit. So today we'll talk about div, and then we'll talk about class and ID. Okay, so let's get started. Talk about the div. What is the div? Div, like a container, it can hold multiple objects. Okay, so let's define a div here. So I'm going to define here a div called div. To define a div, you need to type the div. So div, like a container, it can hold multiple things. So let's type h1, and then I will type that this is h1 tag inside div. Okay, so that is the one element that is going to show here. You can see this element inside the div, and definitely I'm going to create one more paragraphs here, and inside that what we'll write that this is paragraph. Now save that. So there is no difference between these two element, other than other element, there is no difference, right? So each one, and I am doing that inside the div or outside div, that doesn't matter, right? But it will be matter whenever you make some certain changes, right? So what we will do that, if I do here, if I do inside that style, and then inside that if we do the background color, you can be any color, right? And then save that. You can see all this element inside the divs is getting a color, right? So it's having background color. It inside the div, all the element is there and that have some background color. So div, like a container, it hold multiple objects. Okay, so let's understand that. It can have a paragraph, it can have the heading, it can have forms, it can have images. Everything can be have inside the div. Okay, now we'll talk about the class and ID. What is the class and what is the ID? Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll write one more here, h2, and then so now you can see that inside the div there is one h1, one paragraph, and one is the h2 tag, right? So what I'll do, let's think about that. To put the class name, what I'll do, that class, okay, and inside that I'll put that my class. Here inside the P also I'll put that class equal to my class. And here inside that h2 I'll not do any classes, I'll do id equal to my id. Once I save that, you can see that there is no differences, right? It have not changed anything. I put the class equal to my class, I put the id equal to my id, but inside the output there is no changes happens, right? So go to the top in the head, inside the style sections, what we'll do, we will change something in the class and see that how it's different. To write some style or to define any style, what we have to do, regarding the class, we have to put the dot and then I have to put the class name. Okay, so our case is the my class, and what I'll do here, I'll do a color equal to red. So once I save that, you will be notice that wherever I put the class equal to my class, the color got changes. Okay, so remember that in a multiple element or in a multiple places, I can put the same class name, but ID will be always unique. So that is the fundamental things. Element, each element have their ID will be always unique. If you want to put some ID, make it unique. Okay, but if you want to do the, if you want to implement the color in multiple places, you can define the class and that class can be implemented. So our case, let's implement the ID. So we define that my class in two places. If I do that same thing in the third case, that right now if I put here class equal to my class and save that, you can see third things also, the third element also got changes. Okay, so instead of doing the class, I can also implement it by ID, but ID implementation will be always unique. Okay, so let's go back to our top, and here for ID what we have to do, we have to type the hash, and then we have to type the ID name, and then what I have to do, color, I'll put the green. Okay, and save that. So you can see the ID will be always unique, and it will be applicable only one places, not multiple places. But class can be implemented into multiple places. Okay, so that's it for class ID. I hope you guys like this video. We'll talk in the next sessions. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is day 6 for HTML training. I'm Rohit. So today we'll talk about the forms. So last few days we are talking about the div, li, ul and paragraph heading. To demonstrate that form, so what I am planning here, if you see this code or this page is little bit lengthy for understanding. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create one more file and I'm going to create a link so that whenever you click, you will redirect to that page. So first I'll create one file here called form.html, and now the form.html is started. I'll do the basic setup and then I'll come to. So now our form page is ready. You can see that form page. If I type hi and then save that, our text is reading. It means that our basic setup is ready. Basically, I have not done anything. Just define the doc type and then HTML. Inside that, I just define the body. Okay, so that's it. So let's collapse this part. Here, today we'll talk about the form. To define a form, what we have to do, we have to define the form element. Once you define a form element, inside that you can, it's a form like a registration form, you can start taking the input from the user. Okay, so what we are going to take the input, we are going to type in take input from the user, right? It's a form. So what we'll do, first we'll type the input, and then what type of input it is we have to define. There are various types of input we have, so we'll put the type, and then we have to define. You can see there are many types of input is available, so we'll first type the text. Okay, and then close that. Once I save that, you can see there is a one input box available where I can type something. Okay, so I'll create a few more. So what I am going to do that I'm going to create a form where I can take the first name, last name, and email address and phone number. These three things, these three four things will take that. Okay, so what I'll do, input type, and then again it's a text. I'll put that, and then I'll put the input type, and then put the number, and then one more type input, type, email, and save that. So four input we have taken, but if you see that these four inputs, if I expand the page, are side by side, and this doesn't have any label that what input for which, it doesn't have. Okay, so let's put correctly for which input for which purpose. Okay, so I'm going to define that. So the first input I have taken for the first name, so we'll do that id equal to if name, and then there is a one more component called name. Name is used for another case. So you can see that I have put that type equal to text, and first ID I have put that f name, and the name is f name. If I said that, it doesn't matter or it doesn't change anything, right? It's just in internal things happen, internal attribute. I'll do for everyone, so every element. So now you can see that I have made changes for all the elements. So first name, if name, ID, name. You can define, you can make the difference between name and ID. That doesn't matter. ID, because making that symptomatic, I just make the same name so you can remember and use multiple places. Singularly last name, mobile, and then email I have done. Now I save that. If I save that, internally it doesn't make any changes. If I expand, and then it is again the same. To show the label, or to show some heading on that in top of that, what we are going to do, we are going to use one more element called label, and then inside the label we have a tag called for, and this for we will use the id of this element. Okay, so I'll put that f name, and then I'll close this, and inside that whatever text I need, I'll put that. So first name. Once I save that, you can see there is a label is showing right now, and then is have that data. So I'll do for each and every one. I'll copy and paste that. So once I save that, you can see each and every component have some labels, and each, if I expand that, each component have some labels. Now, if you see that they are tagged with each other, right? So they are in a same line. What I am doing right now, I'll put the beer here. I'll put the beer for each and every line. So now once I save that, you can see that it looks like a form, the first name, last name, mobile, email address. Now what do you have to do? We have to do a button so that where the, if you click that, the button will let you go in the next page, or the data will save somewhere. For that, what I have to do, I'll put the input type equal to submit, and then close that. So you can see there is a one submit button available. So now if you see that whenever I click the submit button, in the tops, it have the app name, ill name, and this have actually the URL, okay, what it is, okay. So whenever you click the submit, all the data is going to pass in the URL, okay. So if I just change this name equal to app name to the first name, and save that, and I'll put that Rohit here, and then click enter, you can see that first name equal to Rohit. It means that the name is a main component, or name is a very important component for get the data in the next page or to save the data. Okay, so if you want to retrieve and then save in your database, or if you want to retrieve the data from the next page, you need to call by the name, and then from name you will get that. So I'll go save back again the f name. So make it consistent so that you can remember the ID and the name. It should be unique so that you can use in multiple places. So I'll just do a quick modification here. I'll create one input type called radio button. So input type equal to radio, and here I'll put the name equal to mail and ID equal to mail. Okay, here, and then I'll create a label here, and then for I'll put the mail and save that. I'll put that here, the mail. I'll do the same things for the female one. So I'll copy here and paste here and just change that. So once I save that, you can see male, female are showing in a radio box, but it does not showing, and it does not, it's a clumsy. What I'll do that in that label, I'll put a beer here, and this label I'll put a beer, and then this F I'll put in a capital. Let's save that. So now you can see it's a radio button, and then radio button have a male, female, both the options. Now the final thing is that I'll create a checkbox where that people can be acknowledged, like I acknowledge that. So what I'll do that, I'll create a one input and the type equal to checkbox, and this time I'll put that name equal to ACK, and then ID equal to ACK. And here I'll create a label, and this time label for ACK, and I'll put the label. Label is ready. Let's save that. You can see that it is coming like that. I'll put a beer here and save that. So now our form is ready, but only difference I can see that the male and female doesn't showing any that what purpose we are taking, right? We should say that please select the gender, right? So we'll do that. For that, you can see under this input, I'll take a label, and then this time I am not defining for which one. I'll just defining here, please select the gender. And definitely I should put a beer to for the next line. Save that. So our form is right now ready. Let's quickly see that. This is a text field. If we can type anything here, this is the number. I cannot type anything ABC. I can type only number. And then here, the email address, I can put the ABC. I can select the checkbox, both or single, because it's not a group yet. And here is this checkbox I can select. But if I click submit, the email ID will show a pop-up because it need a @and.com. So we'll put @b.com, and then I will be able to submit that. So now all the information is right now in the URL. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. We'll talk in our next sessions more on that. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rohit. So this is the day 7 for HTML training. So we last day we talked about the forms. Today we also talk about the forms, but we enhance the form element little bit more. So what I'll do first, I'll use the concept of fill set. So what is the fill set first? So fill set is a combination of fields held in a one particular container that is called fill set. Okay. So what I'll do here, I put that fill set here, starting back. So it will be ended at the bottom. I'll cut here and then paste inside that, and then inside in that there is a legend. So I'll put that, and in that I'll put that registration form. So it's a registration form. I just put that and save that. and let's save and see how it make difference. Once I save that, you can see that field set have a one rounded box, and in rounded box there is a ligand that showing that registration forms, and then these have the submit buttons. So just make a little modification. Also, I want to create a reset button. Suppose I'm putting all the information, and then now I just need to be reset that. For that, what I'll do that I'll create a button called input type equal to reset, and then close that. So there will be a reset button. So whenever you put something and click sub reset, all the value will be reset. So now, if you see last video where we are unable to like if I click here, both the checkbox are checked, right? So that was one issue, right? What I have made mistakes, and here, guys, if you see the name, right? Name have a this checkbox have a name equal to male, and this checkbox have the name equal to female. Okay, so that's the reason they have some differences. What I'll do here, I'll change these to here to gender, and this one I'll change to the gender also. So the male and female, both the checkboxes name should be same. So then only it will be actually work. So let's save that and refresh our forms. Now if I check here male and here check female, you can see the changing is happening. Okay, so what we will do another case here in this input type radio, we'll put some value here. So value equal to male, this one, and this checkbox value will be set here female. Okay, now let's save that and open expand these forms. If I select this male and then select this name equal to Rohit and then mobile number is something and click submit, you can see in the top URL it is showing the gender equal to male. If I select the female, the gender will be shown as a female. So from URL we get the data. So now you can see that we just make a value equal to male and female, right? So that is called a kind of attribute. Okay, so these all are the attribute. Okay, so one of the attribute is the value. So value is set some value or initial form. So I'll give a more convenient example. So you can see in this name input box, what we can first name input box, what I'll do here, value equal to Rohit. What does it mean? That the first checkbox default value will be the Rohit. Okay, so it means that you can save or you have not you can modify or you have not modify. But if you want to make some default value on your any of these HTML element, you can set as value equal to that value you can pass, so that the default value will be that one. Okay, so that is the one attribute we just talked. Another one is that read only attribute. Okay, so if you want to make any field read only, you can make any field read only. Okay, so for example, what I'll do here, I'll move this field here to email box, right? Here I'll put that value equal to abc@gmail.com, and then read only equal to true. You can put the read only equal to true, or you can just put the read only. So you can see these fields I cannot start modifying. Okay, so read only is another attribute where you cannot, if you put the read only, the value cannot be changed. Okay, the value will be only show, but you cannot make modification. Okay, similarly in this checkbox you can make that visible, so that whenever you click that field, your mouse click will not be work, or it will be visible. So pretty much near about the read only and visible, pretty much near about the same one. So next attribute is the max length. Okay, so max length means that how many maximum character I can accept for the first time. So let's example that in the first time I'll take only 5 characters. So what I'll do that max length, and then I'll define that 5. It means that only 5 character it will be accept, not more than that. So if I type here more than 5 character, it is restriction, because I have mentioned that only 5 character will take that. next two important thing is that if you see, there is a no mandatory field here, right? So there is a no mandatory that I can select or not. I just simply submit that. It doesn't matter whatever value I'm just putting, right? So what I'll do here for that, I'll make this first name maybe mandatory. So for that, what you have to do in this first name, I will put the required equal to true. So what it will be do, once you require is true and then click submit button, you can see that it is asking to please fill in this field. So before you submit that, it will ask you to make some value, at least some value on these fields. Okay, so that is the one parameter, required parameter, and there is one more parameter called placeholder. So placeholder will show you some backend text in between. So let me put that here, placeholder. So placeholder, I'm just putting that. Please put last name. Once I save that, you can see there is a backend value is showing. Please put the last name. Once I select and start typing, the value is gone. So that is one thing called placeholder. So till now we are talking about the input fields attribute, right? So we are passing some required equal to true. We are passing value. We are passing placeholder. Now we'll talk about the action attribute. What is the actions attribute? Action attribute means that whenever the forms is opens here, there are a many attribute you can pass in the form parameter. Okay, so whenever we are changing some value and clicking submit, the value is storing or value is showing after I click submit. It is showing in the same page, but in the actual systems, it should redirect to some page, and from there, maybe PHP or other tools, it should store to the actual server, right? So in that case, what do we have to do inside this form tag? What we have to do? We have a concept called action, and in these actions, we have to uh, pass a page name. Okay, so our case maybe I'll put the success.html page. So we have to whenever we submit that, it will go and show in a success page. If you see right now, it is going to the success page because but it is showing that get cannot get because the success page is not created. Okay, so I'll quickly create a success page here, and then set up this page quickly. So I have successfully set up this page, and then this page have just simply mentioned that the successfully registered. This page doesn't make any changes here. So going back to that in our form page right now, and then this is our form page where whenever we click submit, it is showing the pop-up to put some value. So I'm just putting my name, and then once click submit, it is right now going to the success page with that value. Okay, so the first parameter in this form is the actions. So actions define that in which page it should redirect. Okay, it right now it is going to the success page, and then once it is defined in the success page could have some HTML code or some other code which help you to store in your database page. Okay, so that's the first parameter. Second is the target. So target means like a link we talk about, right? We can mention the blank or we can mention that cell okay, so underscore self or parent. So if you define something, it can be open in a different tab also. Okay, so if I put that blank here, save that. Now put my name and click submit. It will open in a new tab. You can see it's opening a new tab and then it is showing the successfully registered. So it is not opening in the same tab. So that is the one parameter where you can pass that target equal to blank or so next attribute is a very important attribute called method. A method means that not by default that it's a get method. Get method means that all the value that you are passing here showing in your URL. Okay, but think about that whenever you are putting your username and password, it should not show in your URL, right? So default method is the get. So whenever it's already you know that what is happening. So whenever we are putting something and then click submit, it is opening in a new tab with that all the value in your URL. Next is the post. Okay, next method is the post. That will do one thing, that will all the value will be passed in an encoded format that cannot be shown in your URL. So now if I click submit, you can see the success HTML page is available and it is not, we are not passing any value. We are not passing any value. So that's it for today. We'll continue in our next sessions. Thank you very much. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is day 8 on the HTML training. So today we'll talk about media types of content. Okay. So for that I have created a new page called media.html and then just type the hi to show the media HTML. So let's start it. What is the media? So media is like we last line we talk about the image, right? We can show the images in this our web page. That is one kind of media. Another media is that you can show the video, you can show the audio in your file. So that is one kind of a media. Okay. So let me show you first that how we can show the video on our folder, and then I'll show you that how we can show that audio also. Okay. For that, what I'm going to do here in this code file, I can directly drag one video here, or else you can create a folder and then inside the folder all the media you can store there. Okay, so I'll create a folder here called media, and inside the media I will add some video here, and that video I'll add it. Now I just added one video inside the media folder. If I expand the media, you can see there is a day one video which is available in this media folder. Okay. Now what I will do here, I will add a video tag in our media body, and then using that video tag, I will show that video that whatever is right now visible under there. Okay. So to add the video, what we have to do, first we have to use the video tag, and inside the video tags we have to define the SRC or source from where we should get the video. Okay, so our case is the we need to type the SRC attribute, and then where our video is inside the media folder, the video name is day one. So we will do that. The folder name media slash day one mp4. Now we have to do the type equal to video, then mp4, and save that. Now you can see that the video is in full screen, and then what we'll do here, we'll define the size. So for that, what we'll do, width equal to 320, and then space height equal to 240, and save that. So video getting small. Now you can see there is no buttons here. For that we have to do here control and then save. So you can see that the video is right now visible, and it had the controls called play pause button. Everything is there. Okay, so that's how you can add the video here. Also you can add one more attribute called autoplay. If you put the autoplay, so the video will be automatically started. Okay, so you don't need to be start manually, or it will be, you won't wait for anything. Once the page will be loaded, the video will be auto loaded. Okay. Also, if you see, whenever the video is loaded, it have the sound and everything, it's automatically started. Along with that, it's have sound, so you can also put the muted attribute, so that video will be started with the mute. Okay. So these are the attribute for the video. Next we'll talk about the audio. So like similar like video, what we can do, we can also import the audio. For that you have to type audio, and inside that you have to type the source, and inside the source you have to type src, and inside that you have to define the folder and file. So I'll put the media slash. I have already included one video called day 2 mp3. I'll just add that, and then you can define the type. Otherwise you can close this tag. And also definitely if you say that there will be one audio file, but you need to define the control equal to true and save that. You will be able to see one media file is available, and all the attribute which is available on the video, same attribute can be applied for the audio also. Now let's talk about the iframe. Iframe means that if you want to show some content from the different website, you can do that. Okay, for example, our case it's that I want to show my YouTube video, this YouTube video to my website, right? So what we'll do that, you have to click the share button on your YouTube, and then you click the embedded options. It will generate a code. The code is nothing but it's just a iframe, and it's have a width and height that can be changes. And this src is the YouTube channel code, and these have the title. Copy this code from here, and then go back to your Visual Studio. Inside that, paste it and save that, and if you refresh that, you can see your YouTube video is available inside that. So that is the one iframe concept. Using the iframe, you can pick, or you can show any website, web page, audio, video, everything can be visible, or everything can be framed and fitted to your web page if you want, by using the height and width. One message I am continually getting, that how we can show the passwords, right? How we can use the password box in our HTML page. So basically for that, it's a very simple one. If you go here, here, you can create a input type equal to this type. You have options called password, and then you need to put the ID equal to maybe PWD, anything you do that, name equal to PWD, and save that. Also you need to define a label for that. So define a label for, so label for, we'll type the PWD, and here we close here, and then type the password and save that. So you can see there is a password box is visible, and then if you type something, everything is coming as a star, and then it cannot be visible. Now the next question I am getting, that the style sheet is getting increases. So how we can move to that style sheet to that in a separate style page. Although I thought that we'll cover in a CSS in the next sessions, but in a different sessions, but that's fine. So to create a separate style sheet file, you can define that style or any name .css, and it's actually CSS. So style.css file is created. Now going back to that HTML here, all the style will be copied here from, like you can cut from here and paste here and save that. So your style, all the style is present here, and then you can remove this one. So now you can see all the styles are moved to the style sheet page here, but for that our styles is the color, the red color, the green color are not showing actually, because we need to call the style sheet page to our index page. For that, what we have to do, we have to type the link here, we have to type the rel, so it should have defined to the style sheet, and then we have to define that href, and we have to define the page location. Our case is it's in the same directory. What we have to do, we have to just put the name and then close that and save that. Now we can see it starts rendering from the different page. All our code is shifted to the style sheet or style CS in a different page. Now here you can all put all the style sheet related code here. So thank you everyone for your time. So this is our end of the HTML training. I hope you guys like my video. Thank you very much.